Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Bill and Ted Roll the Dice, Issue 1. This is a 2022 series from Opus, which is an imprint of Incendium, written by James Asmus, art by Wayne Nichols, colors by Joana Lafuente, letters by Jacob Bascle, edited by R.G. Lorena and Denton J. Tipton. There's a backup story, The Life and Times of Chuck D. Nomalis, the greatest man in history, written by John Barber, art by Andrew Currie, colors by Joana Lafuente, letters by Jacob Bascle, and edited by R.G. Lorena and Denton J. Tipton. So it's been 4 months since some time-traveling heroes came back from the distant future to play a rock concert for their past selves, but their past selves have not been putting any work into actually improving their skills. They've been goofing off a lot. And it's taking the girlfriends, the princesses from the past, who really get them motivated to try harder. So the duo decide to go get some food before goofing off some more, and they end up over at Ted's dad's house, who has food, and they find Missy dumping a bunch of Ted's stuff in the trash. It turns out she's joined posers, parents opposing Satanism and entertainment in regional sports, and they are getting rid of a lot of Ted's cool stuff, like his album covers and books. Now, a mysterious book does appear in that pile, and it's the Devil's Nether Realm Dungeon, and they decide to check it out, but that is when they are lured back to hell by none other than Satan himself, who wants to play a game for their souls. And that game is in fact a fantasy role-playing game, but neither of them seem to understand that, so they choose the stupidest classes possible, and they are put on a quest. It was actually a really fun story. There is a reasonable amount of talking, but the characters do sound like Bill and Ted from the movies, and it was a surprisingly fun story. It looks like they're going to really pay a lot of homage to D&D. The cover obviously is an ode to the second edition Dungeons & Dragons book, so if you were a fan of the Player's Handbook back in the day, you'll recognize that cover as a homage to that. The backup story is a little weird. It's about this Chuck guy who invents this thing that throws basketballs at kids, or dodgeballs. I'm not real clear on what kind of ball, but it seems like a dodgeball. And one of the kids in his class is Rufus, who in the movies was played by George Carlin. And instead of trying to distract the coach from being ludicrous, he actually antagonizes him and makes him a lot more sinister and psychotic, and things go silly really fast. It was an okay backup story, but the main story is way better, and I had a lot of fun reading both of them. I didn't feel cheated for my money. Considering it was a $5 book, I was pretty happy with my purchase. The characters look like who they're supposed to, the art's a nice clean style, probably a few minor things that I would change, but nothing major. The backup story had some pretty decent art. It's a little more rigid than the main story, but both stories were fun. The main story is definitely a good Bill and Ted story, and like I said, the cover by Lukas Ketner is really solid and does really kind of add to it because it's a great homage to D&D. So if you're looking for a fun adventure story, this is a good start to one, and I'm going to pick up issue 2. I was pleasantly surprised by it, and I thought it was a pretty fun book. So all around, great quality paper, great story, decent art. What more could you ask for from a comic book? That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.